Alright, I gotta do this. I gotta do this. I just sent a text message to a federal marshal whose number I traced after they had dug into my phone and removed it. And I said as much as in the recording that I've already released as I talked to him after I called him from tracing it. And it was late, and I'm in a situation right now where I've been involved in an investigation into human trafficking, sex trafficking, and synthetic ritual abuse, which I have also been affected by personally in my life, having had a dad who was a private pilot for former head of CIA, George H.W. Bush, and most recently worked with the Bushes. Back on January 21st of 2017, you can see a post that we did on Facebook as part of a kind of a joint venture between CIA and DARPA, in a DARPA-sponsored program called Social Media and Strategic Communication, in which I personally validated and confirmed that information had been validated by clandestine service regarding a pedophilia operation that was connected to a particular faction of Secret Service that was the Bush's faction. And I did it in such a way in which I was not castigating or, to judge these people. I am one of these people, and so it's a tough spot to be in all the way around, and you want to have a healing effect if you can, guys. That's where I'm coming from on this, and I am currently working it's a multi-leveled operation, but counter-sabotage has been the primary function, which is it's just hard. And we knew these guys were going to set us up out of Collin County. We were investigating them. We got too close to some of their stuff, and I got a tip, walked into it. And to get back to my point, you go look at that post on the January 21st. A server was discovered at the Bush's house. I tagged a post on Facebook as part of this joint venture between CIA and DARPA at a place called TSR, excuse me, which is kind of I don't want to say fabricated, but it was created for this purpose, and it traces back to the address of George W. Bush's house, and it's like a computer server repair shop. And I made that post. There was a front operation called the Tiny Heiny at Preston Hollows, right there at George Bush, or no, excuse me, Forest and Preston. And I put that post up after I did the initial post regarding the faction of Secret Service, and then I noted the front operation, which was a store that sold clothes and stuff, and this was a front for a pedophilia operation in which they had a picture of a kid's butt bent over, and it's disturbing to think about that, but you can go see this for yourself, see the post tagged there. And what I would like you to consider is that after I made the first initial post on the 21st of January 2017 on the Sonny Irvin account on Facebook, there were thousands of arrests that began to just spring up all over the country, and this was connected. And I'm going to go ahead and release that information now because I feel that it's important. H.W. Bush is dead. He had his funeral. There's rumors that indictments were revealed to the Clintons and other people in the note that was passed to them at that funeral. I'm not able to confirm that, but I would say that it's likely. And you know, guys, there has to be, I like Robert Steele's take on this with the truth and reconciliation aspect of it, because we're not going to get anywhere if we keep fighting each other. Because right now, I'm talking to this federal marshal about help me, because, you know, they have an idea of what's going on. And I'm trying to avoid conflict with these people, and I get so fucking angry because I've identified the MO. I am exceedingly qualified to do so. They've put an ankle monitor on me. They've used electronic harassment on me through it. I have worked, you know, I'm going to go ahead and put in this description of this video here on YouTube, the raw signals intelligence availability procedures, which was declassified by the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, and then the originating agency for that was the National Security Agency. And there's some particular clauses in there that are relevant to the information that I have been collecting in the investigation that I've been working on, particularly while I was inserted into the Collin County Detention Facility, most specifically the breach of attorney-client privilege, which is a huge problem. It's kind of pervasive throughout our judicial system, but there's a particularly bad influence of this out of the DA's office and with the court-appointed attorneys there. And so I uncovered this while I was in there and really tried to hammer on this. We're going about this in some kind of under-the-radar type ways right now to fix this, and I've made no bones about telling these guys, hey, I'm here to put political pressure on Collin County right now because of this, because we know what's going on and we see them trying to hide it. I just released a call that I did to the FBI after giving a series of tips into the FBI, and this is about multi-agency accountability. It's a hard issue, and these people don't know me. You know, if you're not able to pull up a dossier on me, you know, I told the lady that was screening the call that the last dealing I had with FBI was, well, I don't know if it was the last one, but a prominent one, I guess you could say, was when we were working with a guy named Gary Vanderboot. He is a nuclear workers advocate, and he's an ex-project manager from Lockheed Martin, and we were dealing with the improper disposal of radioactive isotopes. And I had a close family friend of ours, in which my mother was working for at the time, had Obama come over to have a barbecue fundraiser at his house. This is my mom's boss, and he's a great guy from what I can tell. You know, I just intuited it. You know, I do have an ability to be, I'm a psychic asset. And so I looked into the situation. I revealed to myself and to my co-workers at that time that we were under surveillance, and literally 5-10 minutes later, the weapons of mass destruction coordinator knocked on my buddy's door while he was in the shower. 5 minutes later, after I called and told him, hey, we're under surveillance, this is what's going on, and blah. And Bobby, who I've worked with, and he married Kim, my former partner Kim, in a call to actions. He seemed to think this guy was a great guy, and he was genuinely concerned about the future and, you know, his grandkids, and, you know, the improper disposal of radioactive isotopes is a big deal. So I just wanted to kind of give you a history of what's going on with the FBI and me, because I don't think they like me very much. But it's not fair to say that, because it's a lot of people, and I've been on record many times, many different radio interviews and stuff that I've done. And of course, my body of work has been largely censored, but I always throw that in there, that I know there's some great people at the FBI. I hope that they see this. I hope that they're listening. I hope that they're objective, because I am more than qualified to understand and identify the MO of satanic child ritual abuse and everything that comes with it. And I have clearly identified it in this case and forwarded it to my superiors. And to note that is to say that at the time of the original post that I released when we were working with the Bushes, Gina Haspel was the director of the clandestine service at that time, and of course she has gone on to be the director of Central Intelligence now, so God bless her. I think that she is a great woman just based on my working relationship that I have had with her, which has been something that I would consider to be more of a connection on a soul level than anything else, and I think that's pretty neat. And even George H.W. Bush and my work, and I think a lot of people, and certainly ancient beliefs as well, would kind of show that these influences that cause people to do this stuff literally are parasitic in nature. They're demonic. They're not human, and they come into human beings. And so archons, same thing. It's just semantics. It's all the same stuff. And so we're talking about basically etheric or interdimensional beings that can create a host out of a human being, and they feed on this lower vibrational energy. And when you get into that at the higher levels of government, it passes on down, and it's just this multi-generational curse. Guys, we've got to break this. And so everything that I've just told you is true. And so, wow, to be able to have any part of that in a family like the Bushes is huge, you know. And so there's so much more to tell, but I have to get this out because I'm just hearing tears, because I'm not begging, but I'm asking this federal marshal, man, can you help me? Because I don't want anybody to get hurt. I know my people will back me up. My people back me up all the time. And half the time, I don't even know who the fuck they are. You know, I've been on record before. A motherfucker will run up to me and say who they are, who they're with, prove it to me in some type of way, and roll with it. Roll that fucking beautiful beam footage. And it is what it is, man. And so, you know, what am I supposed to say? It's a tough spot when I'm looking at these guys. We know what's going on, and I don't want to be accusatory. I don't want to be castigating. I don't want to point my fingers, and it's hard for me not to get angry. And I see my friends affected by this, and I look at you guys out there. So many beautiful people that want to change this, dude, you know? We gotta fucking stick to this shit. Just my whole life is about having integrity to this, regardless of what it looks like to other people. And my cover's so fucked up. Motherfuckers looking at the shit I get involved in. People have to be careful even, you know, giving me $1, because some asshole's gonna come back and say, ooh, this, that, and the other. And I found myself in some fucking serious situations, man. And so my intention is to help other people, and it's always about defense, and it's not to hurt other people. And have I always been successful at that? No, because of the things that we do are not conventional, and the way that we know how to use our energy after we've reclaimed it is so powerful. We realize that it's greater than ourselves, and we facilitate that out. And it's an honor to be able to do that. And so I'm not afraid for my life, because at some point I just don't give a fuck. I love my life, and I would never, you know, suicide myself or anything like that. But if I have to die for this shit, what the fuck, it's all I know. And so, please raise awareness about this. Say, what is he talking about? Social, what? Bush's house, Bliss, that, and the other? For real, you can validate this information. And so, I need your help raising awareness about this. I need your help facilitating compassion and love to these people. Because, guys, this is a spiritual battle. We're seeing this, you know, get into the digital realm, the AI, the cloud, and these become dwelling places for basically spiritual entities that covet human creative ability. And so think about that. Resonate with that, and please just take my hand with this and help me, because I need it right now, man. Okay? I love y'all. I do.